what's going on, everybody? It's Dusty Tucker. I have a slightly different style video for you guys today. This one is going to be on... I've been doing a lot of bushcraft / survival and camping out in the wilderness, and it's so much fun. It is so much fun. It's better than being in a camper at a park where you can basically spit to your neighbor and there's no foliage. That's not camping, in my opinion. You're basically moving into the woods with your camper, and you don't really get the same experience that you do when you actually go out to like the provincial forest and spend the night out there. It's so much more exhilarating and fun, and you're one with nature, and it's just, you don't see it or hear anybody. It's super quiet. It's absolutely amazing. I totally suggest you guys go out and try it. Instead of spending the night in a camper or a big, huge fifth wheel or even a tent, you could still do a tent. I guess a tent isn't too bad, but I like to make little bushcraft shelters and just stay in there. It's awesome. So I'm going to go over some of the stuff that I bring with me when I go on these events, these camps, whatever you want to call them. I usually go with one or two other buddies of mine, and we have a lot of fun. And I don't even have all of the proper gear yet. I have ordered some stuff. I have a little cooking pot, a titanium 1100 millimeter cooking pot that's coming, and it has handles that you can take off, and it has a big steel loop ring on it that you can hang on a branch over a fire. And there's a couple other things that I don't have that are coming in because I'm just sort of getting into this myself. I didn't think I'd be so into it as much as I am, but it is absolutely amazing, especially during hunting season. Spend the night out there or a couple nights out there going chicken hunting or whatever you want to do, and it's absolutely amazing, especially when you go out with a buddy. But I just want to go over some stuff that I bring with me, and I won't bring all of this with me. Sometimes I'll just bring a few things depending on if it's going to be an overnight camp or if it's going to be just a daytime trip out there. And so I'm just going to start off by showing you my bag that I have. It's nothing special. It's just a 511 bag, and this is my full bag that I wear. I have this cadet canteen that I bring with water. I have a first aid mole pouch. It's not filled. I just got this like literally a couple of days ago. This is a really cool one. This is a rip away one. You just open up the sides, open the top, and then you can just take this and rip it out. That way you don't have to bring your whole heavy ass backpack with you. You can just carry, just have the first aid part with you. I find it super convenient. And then your water, and then this little tripod stool on the side. This doesn't weigh very much. It only weighs about 2 pounds. And I'll get to the internals here too as well. I may be going in kind of heavy, but at least I know I'll have everything I need. So like we'll start with going into the pack, for instance, and I'll just start pulling out stuff and showing you what I bring. Right away, I'm going to start off with a heavy hitter. This is just a folding saw, Colgan's folding saw. You can get this on Amazon pretty cheap, and I've tested it. It has worked. You can see the marks on it there. One thing I wish, I might upgrade my saw eventually to the more of a D style folding saw. This is just a triangle folding saw, and I silented it with I put some rubber bushings in there. Otherwise the blade rattles like crazy and it's just kind of annoying. So I put some rubber bushings in there to help silent it a little bit. It has a little tightening screw on the side here. The blade comes out. You swing it around, fold this piece open, And it just clips onto a screw that's kind of half sticking out. Snap it in there, and then there you go. There's your little folding saw. And it works good for cutting little stuff. The main reason I bought this is because it has nice big teeth on it. And I love the nice big teeth. This thing goes through pretty quickly. So that's one of the things I carry. I also would tell you to mention to keep your blade oiled while you're not using it, because I've already noticed. I've only taken this out once and there's already some rust spots on that blade. I kind of want to keep my shit nice and oiled and lubricated so it lasts a long time. And then to disassemble it, it's just a quick little detach, swing it around. This is a cheap little saw that you can get, and it has the little screw there. This keeps the blade pinched to the side, so it holds it in there, and it also cuts down on the noise. Very awesome folding saw, and I've used it, so I feel like I can talk about it. I've cut through pretty big trees with it, so that's one of the things I like to bring with me. I'm gonna have to make a pile here because I have a decent amount. Now, when you cut down, I like to keep to cutting the deadfall, or not the deadfall, but you can cut the deadfall up, or if there's a tree that's standing up and it's completely dead, I'll cut it too, because it makes good for firewood, and it helps kind of clean up the forest a little bit. So I don't like to cut down alive stuff very often. Now, sometimes I'll bring this. It kind of really only has one use, and that is after you cut down the tree, and let's say you want to delimit. This machete it's a powerhouse for delimbing trees. It'll delimb a tree like super quickly instead of using your hatchet to take off one limb at a time. This thing, you can just put the tree on your shoulder and just cut down like 8 to 12 limbs at a time, and you can process wood really quickly. But it's kind of a hassle to bring out there because of its size. It doesn't really pack the best. So it's kind of, if you want to bring it, you can. But I like to bring it just because it speeds the process up of processing wood. So those two tools. I like to bring some food just in case. If, let's say I'm going overnight. If I'm not going overnight, I'll just bring some snacks and some coffee, and I'll be fine for the day. But if you're going overnight, I like to have some food with me. So this is dehydrated food. It's really good. There's a mountain chili, vegetarian chili. There's a creamy potato cheddar soup, and this would be good for one day for one person for sure. So there's like a breakfast and a lunch and a dinner right there. So it's like one day. But you'd be good for your first day with just your snacks and your coffee and your tea and your water or whatever. Or if you bring like a bannock mix like my one friend brings, it helps a lot. So you'd be actually okay. If you just brought this, that'd be good for 2 days for sure with your other stuff that you brought. It all depends on the person, right? Some people might need to consume a little more food. I like to bring some jerky. Maybe not this entire bag. Maybe I'll break it down into like 3 or 4 little baggies and just have them. But beef jerky, I like to bring some of that stuff too because it keeps for a long time. Some wilderness wipes. These are biodegradable. Basically, you can shower with these. So if you start to stink after a while and you kind of want to freshen up a little bit, I like to just have some of this stuff just in case, you start feeling a little icky, or maybe you're starting to get kind of rashy or something and you need to clean yourself off. It's a nice thing to have anyways. You can bring that. Or if you buy some water, or if you have extra water or something like that, there's some biodegradable soap wash stuff too. I don't necessarily bring this. Maybe if I go on a long journey or camping, I'll bring this because it weighs quite a bit. It's a 250 ml bottle, so it's every little amount adds up, right? So what else do we got? An oversized fire kit. I'm going to be downgrading on this guy. I have a bunch of these Altoid tins in here. I have 4 of them. And then I have some waterproof matches. These Altoid tins, I like to keep my fat rope shavings inside of them. Realistically, you just need to bring this and your ferrocene rod or a lighter with you. And that's all you really need, because this stuff is amazing and you can start a fire pretty quickly with just that. So my fire kit it's a little excessive, but there's my ferrocene rod. Just a simple one. Took the lanyard off because I don't really care for that. Fat rope stick. There's some people that take it and just shave off with their knife, but I find it doesn't work the best that way, because you still have chunks that you're trying to set on fire, and if you peel it apart and fray it apart, this stuff sets on fire a lot quicker than chunks do. So that's just personal preference. I pack a little tiny container of black powder just in case. You never know. But yeah, each one of those big fat rope things, they come out like this with a little bit more. I've used some of this already. Each one, like inside of here, there's one of these big suckers, and then from one of these you go down to a bunch of these, and then one of these equals that much like fluffy stuff from one strand. So as you can see, if you actually take this apart and process it properly, one of these logs will last you a long time. So again, personal preference. It depends on if you're patient or not patient or whatever the case may be, but that's a pretty big fire kit. It's a little excessive, I think. I'm probably going to downgrade this once I get more stuff, like my pot. Once my pot comes in, and once a couple other things come in, I'm going to have to downgrade this for sure, because it's a lot. It doesn't weigh a lot, but it takes up a lot of room. So my fire kit, a little container I like to bring with me. This is just a stainless steel container for coffee grinds, and that amount of coffee will last you a long time. This was full, and I've used it in 2 or 3 different day trips, so this stuff will last you probably a week if you really want it to, and it's just pressure sealed, gravity sealed, whatever you want to call it. I keep that with me because I love coffee. Camp coffee is the best coffee in my opinion. And then I got a bunch of plastic bags. I always carry extra plastic bags because they have so many uses. You can use them to collect water. You can use them to collect the morning dew on the trees for water. You can use them for foraging. Let's say maybe you shoot a chicken and you can take out its breasts right there and put it in a bag. There's so many uses for plastic bags, it's crazy. I like to bring a few of those with me. Now, I usually pack 2 of these. I used to just pack 1, but now I'm packing 2 of them. I got one hatchet here, which is it's a Fisker's. I've had this guy for a number of years, and I'm telling you, they're kind of expensive, but this thing is absolutely amazing. Like I think I've had it for a long enough time now that I can tell you that it's a good product. It's a very good product. It has a nice little locking thing here. I know leather would be cooler. It'd be cooler to have a leather sheath for it, but this works just as fine. And it keeps an edge. I like how it's got a straighter edge on it. So you don't, when you want to sharpen it, it's a lot easier than trying to sharpen a beveled edge, a round edge. I like that. And I've used it for a hammer quite numerously. You can tell there's big divots on that side. When I first bought this, I was kind of unsure about it because of the plastic wedge that's holding it in there. But let me tell you, it's very durable, like very durable. I've hammered the crap out of things with this thing. I actually need to put a fresh edge on there. It's kind of rough, as you can see. it would still do its job, but it's kind of rough. I'll take the honey steel to that and sharpen that up, rehome that edge a little bit. But yeah, this guy, I highly suggest this little hatchet. It is freaking amazing. And then I just recently picked up another one just because I like, they both fit in my pack. They're the perfect size. This one was on sale at a local hardware store, and it's kind of got some similar aspects of that Fisker one, or whatever the hell you want to call it. This one has a round edge though, so I mean it's a little bit harder to maintain, but it's got a heavier head, so this one may be better for like splitting, processing. It's a little bit of a longer handle. Match the tops there. It's got a little bit more leverage on it, so you can get a little more whacking power behind it, but they both fit in my pack beautifully, so I'm not complaining. I guess I'm kind of like the tool guy. Everyone else carries like the cookware and everything like that, but I carry most of the tools, so I don't really carry the kitchen. But I want to buy I want to be able to go out there by myself a few times, so that's why I'm buying the kitchen now. So we'll see when that comes in. I'm not big of a fan of the sheath. The sheath kind of sucks. It takes a long time to set back up and everything. But yeah, these both fit in my pack upside down. I stagger them like this, and they fit in the back of the pouch in my backpack like perfectly. So there's those suckers. What else do I got in here? I have my tripod stool, like I kind of showed you before, but I'll take it out here. These guys, again, I bought these thinking they were going to be an absolute piece of junk, but I said they were so cheap, how could I not at least try them? I've used this numerous times, and it is awesome. Comes with a little Velcro tab, and boom, you got yourself a stool. And let me tell you, like I'm a bigger guy. This thing is holding up, and it's really crazy. It's actually got reinforced like fabric here. It's got a screw in there, and then if you look underneath, there's actually a secondary tab of fabric holding it in there. So it's in there really good. It's not going to break. And then it has extra padding on this side here on the corner. Like, it's fairly secure, and it has a nice hard plastic piece on it. Might even be like a polymerous type thing. And then it has like aluminum leggings with plastic grippy feet. I'm telling you, for $15, this is definitely worth the investment. These stools are awesome. I've actually bought one for one of my friends, and he uses it too. It's amazing. It's a comfort thing for sure, instead of having your knees in the mud or the snow the whole time. Absolutely love this. I just got it at my local PV Mart. Cheap. Good stuff. Anyway, these little twist tie things. Let's see if I can take this off of here. I think you kind of get the idea of this without even me. They're like rubber twist ties. Kind of cool. I got them as a gift, and I didn't know what to think of them at first, but they're actually fairly useful. I got 2 of them, and I have this spare one just wrapped around my handle in case I ever need it. But I find that, let's say you're using paracord, and instead of wrapping up and tying up a knot, it can just save you some time. So here's another one that I have on my paracord end there, and you can just kind of twist it and tighten it up, and it holds fairly well. And you always have your loose end, whatever. It's just it's a handy thing to have, and I always carry a few packs of paracord with me. I think I have 2 packs in this bag right now, but I had 3 when I started, so I'll probably buy some more. And it's the paracord with the fishing line inside of it and a bunch of stuff like that. And then I have some cheaper white nylon stuff for tying stuff up in trees without using your good stuff, sort of thing. Inside here's a fresh one that I haven't used yet. I don't know how many feet they are. I haven't really kept track of that, but My zipper, which is kind of falling apart on me, so it might be time to buy a new pack. This is my honey steel. I use this to home all the edges on my axes and my knives and everything that I use with an edge. And it works very well. I wasn't sure about it at first when I got it, but let me tell you, it's freaking awesome. It not only homes the edge on your blades and everything like that, but it keeps them sharp too. So I like to have that with me. I like to have a few knives. Each knife has a different job. This one is my my skinning, gutting knife because it has a really sharp edge. I don't typically use this for anything else. And then it does have a nice sharp edge on the back too. So once in a while, I will use it with my Ferrician rod to strike some better sparks. And then I have just a Browning bushcraft knife here. I really like the blade on this thing. It's an amazing quality knife for the price. And then I have my little utensils packet here with my spoons and my forks, my knives, my chopsticks, straw, and a little pipe cleaner for the straw. And that's all I have in my main kit. But then I'll pack a sleeping bag. So I have a couple of different styles. This one is a smaller one, and it's a decent camping bag. This one would be for like, it says it's good for up -5. So this would be like a good fall bag or a summer bag or whatever like that. And then I have a bigger bag, which is good for probably up to -20 depending on your pad. This is a Woods bag. Really comfortable. I won't bring them both. I'll bring one or the other. Half the time it's just this one because it's smaller. And then, aside from my big bag, I like to carry a satchel. And the main reason I like to carry a satchel is, let's say I'm out on the hunt or something and I don't want to carry this huge pack with me loaded with gear the whole time. I'll pull the satchel out, and depending on what I'm using, I'll have a bunch of foraging or plastic bags in here for gutting and getting meats from animals or chickens or whatever. I'll have extra ammunition in here for hunting. I'll have my 12 gauge ammunition, my 22 ammunition, and I'll have an extra knife in here and some water. That's pretty much all I need. And then you leave camp with just a satchel instead of your big kit. I just find it a lot easier and lighter to use that kind of thing. And you can pack other shit too. Like I like to bring some chunks of beeswax or something, because beeswax has so many different uses. You can waterproof stuff with it. You can do a whole bunch of different stuff with it. Another thing I like to pack too, if I'm hunting with a shotgun or something, and let's say it's a really good day and you end up running out of ammo, I bring a flask of black powder, a little container of shot, and then this one just happens to be my 410 shotgun reloading kit. And in this kit, you'll have every tool and everything you need to reload your 410 shotgun shells in field with using black powder. And I just capped it off with beeswax, and that actually, it holds, and it makes the cartridge waterproof, not submerged, but if it's raining or whatever, it won't get in there. And in this kit, you got some, I can't really show you, it's hard to show you without, I have a video on that, on reloading, primitive tools, reloading black powder, 410 shotgun shells, powder measure, lighter to melt the wax, depriming tool, priming tool, extra shotgun primers, some wadding, a scoop for your shot, and everything like that. All inside a handy little kit. So with these components right here, I can reload 410 or 12 gauge shotgun shells. So it's kind of handy. The 12 gauge kit is a little bit different. I have to bring this tool with me. This is a priming tool. I don't like to carry this with me though, because this is kind of an antique and they're kind of hard to find. If you're interested in how to use this, I think I have a 12 gauge brass shotgun shell reloading video that I use it in, I think. If not, I can show a video on that in a later time. And instead of crimping the shotgun shell, I do the same concept with the beeswax as I do with the 410. So in the field, it's totally manageable to reload shotgun shells. That's why I never throw away my spent shotgun shells. These ones are roll crimped. I use this old antique roll crimper device for that. You could pack that in a kit too, but I just find it simpler just to fill it with beeswax and have reloads too. And it's just easier with black powder because you don't have to be as fussy. If you're a couple grains off, it's not going to be life or death. So it's better than trying to do it with smokeless powder and wads and stuff like that in the field, I find anyways. That's pretty much all I have right now that I can think of. You can bring extra stuff. Like I don't have my water bottles with me, but I have the insulated water bottles. I bring about 3 of those. Each one holds almost a liter. So I'll have those 3 liters, and then I'll have my cadet canteen on my pack. I'll have this guy full of water too. And then of course, first aid supplies, which I don't have yet, but I will get eventually. But that's 90% of the stuff that I bring with me when I go camping. When it comes to clothing, it's everyone's preference to have. You can use muck boots. I'm not going to get into clothing because clothing is kind of self-explanatory. But this is a video to help people maybe if they want to get into like the basis of bushcraft. And some of this stuff is not very expensive. Like this, you don't have to get that this Fisker's hatchet if you don't want to. Some of those hatchets, those bushcraft hatchets that you see online, they go for like $200-300. That's absolutely insane when something like this can do the same job. Like I just don't understand. It's like an aesthetics, like it's like a show-off thing, I guess. Oh, look at my nice wooden handle and whatever. You can enjoy this just as much. Actually, this was probably lighter than a wooden one, so you can buy this one too. Like this one was only $15 on sale. Just keep an eye out for sales. That's all I do. I'm all about doing stuff on the cheap. That's what my channel is pretty much about, is reloading and my interests that are on the cheap. The cheapest way, but the best way with the cheapest way to do stuff like that. Anyways, I think that's pretty much all I have for this video. I hope some of you guys found something useful. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them and I'll try to answer them for you. I don't really like to give product shout outs because I'm not really, but if you're curious to see if any of the stuff that I had, if you're curious to know what brand it is or whatever, drop a comment below and I'll do the best I can to let you know where I got that stuff from. If I remember, I kind of have a crappy memory. But I think that's everything for right now. I don't believe I have anything else to show you. Oh, I do. I have one more thing I want to show you. My 22. When I go bushcrafting or hunting, I always like to pack a firearm, at least 1 or 2. I like to bring a 12 gauge and a 22, or a 410 and a 22. But this is my little Cooey Canuck 22 that I have. Yeah, the stock is cracked on it, but for a bush gun, it's fine. And I just did this sling just with a couple pieces of leather lace and wire. Like I said, on the cheap. I'm not buying a $40 sling when I can make one for like 50 cents. Why would I do that? And then there's a little antler thing here that I made. This is a 22 shell holder. This thing holds 5 22 rounds in it, and it's always with your gun. So if I'm out in the bush and I forget my ammo, well, crap. At least I have 5 rounds that I can use with my gun. Or let's say you don't want to, something's out in the bush and you hear it when you're at your camp and you're like, crap, where's my ammo? Where's my ammo? I've got to find your ammo, find your gun. At least in Canada, because we can't have it together. We got to have our ammo separate from our guns. That's why the first thing I'll do when I get to the camp is load this antler up with 5 cartridges and then leave it up against a tree. And then when you hear a rabbit or something, you can just grab it. You don't have to grab anything else. You just grab your gun and you know you have 5 rounds. You know you have it because it's right there. And they don't just fall out. It's kind of a cool little device. But this little Cooey gun, and it's super light to pack. I think it's got like a 17-inch barrel, so it's pretty light. And this is a made in Canada 22. I keep it nice and clean. And yes, it's unloaded for those of you who are wondering. It's unloaded. One thing I really like about the single shot Cooeys is that you can have a round in the chamber and close the bolt, and it's safe. There's no... It's half cock is safe, and then you fire once that is fully. That's what I love. Cooey, it's a really awesome gun. There, half cock, that's safe. You don't have to worry about it, and then you can still open the bolt from there. Like, this is an amazing little 22. I love Cooeys, and I have a 12 gauge coming too, so I can't wait to show you guys that as well. Anyways, I hope some of you guys found something useful, and yeah, if you have any questions, drop them below. Dusty Tucker signing out. We'll see you next time.